Hey guys, and welcome back for another technical analysis breakdown. Thank you for your continued support, and if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and be sure to give us a like if you are enjoying the content. So let's dive right in.
Crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night.
What a day for the cannabis sector today. We had a lot of mixed reviews coming from a few different areas, some bullish, some bearish. We had APHA take a big tumble today, dropping down almost 30% with a bunch of short sellers literally murdering APHA. And it was all essentially related to this guy named Gabriel Grego, who's the founder of Quintessential Capital Management. And he basically told delegates in a conference in New York that APHA had diverted into inflated investments held by insiders. And in a report he ran in conjunction with another firm, which is a forensic analysis firm, that said the company was basically worthless. And with that report came the short sellers, and basically we had 30% day for APHA. So if you are investing in APHA, feel sorry for you guys with what's happening here. Definitely not something you want to see. We did also have APHA issue a statement after market close, letting investors know that they are aware of the short seller report that was released earlier today. They believe that it's malicious and a self-serving attempt to profit by manipulating APHA stock and at the expense of its shareholders. And really, they gave really no indication onto what the next step is and what they're going to do in regards to this report. All they really said was that the board of directors of APHA confirmed that it did receive some financial advice and a fairness opinion from a reputable firm, that the consideration to be offered by APHA in respect of the transaction was fair from a financial point of view to APHA and its shareholders. So that doesn't really tell us a lot about what's going on with APHA, but we'll have to wait for the rest of the week and see what other headlines continue to come out, what other news we see from APHA. So aside from that, let's take a look at the charts, see what we can expect for the rest of the week and what to look for in the short term. Looking at weed's daily chart, we're still in this tightening consolidation pattern. We've been essentially just trading sideways for basically the last 2 weeks or so. We've had our low at $40. And since then, we've kind of been creating these mini higher lows and higher highs, so to speak, but not breaking a level that I had mentioned in our previous videos of $46. I have it here exactly at $45.94, but essentially the $46 level has been quite a pain for the weed bulls to try and break, to get above this kind of range that we've been in for the last week or so, to see what will play out going forward for the rest of the week and month heading into the new year. So today, again, we had another sideways trading day. Not too much happened. We had a fake out with a potential break of $46 with no real follow through behind it, and essentially the stock broke down for the rest of the day, and we closed closer to the lows of the day. Now, what I've noticed on weed is that we are getting into this wedge that it's starting to get tighter and tighter as we go. So a break either way is pretty imminent, whether it be for the bulls or the bearish. My personal opinion tells me, just based on how the stock's been trading the last week or so, that it'll most likely pull back because it has tested this resistance a few times and it hasn't managed to break it. So a break is imminent, whether it be to the downside or the upside. But just based on how this has been going, my anticipation is that it's going to break further down, and and possibly test this $40 mark that we've hit before on the 20th of November. So with that said, as far as the daily is concerned, there's not really much more to go off of this than what you're seeing here. It's like I said, it's just basically a series of higher lows and higher highs. But again, nothing that's telling us the bulls are about to break out and we're about to get major movement to the upside, because this 46 level has played as resistance for a while, and bulls just can't seem to break it. So typically when a resistance point is met a few times without a break, this tightening consolidation typically happens, and then the move that occurs after is usually a pretty large one because of the length of the sideways consolidation. The longer it is, the bigger the move that it's going to be to the upside or the downside. So as far as resistance is concerned on the daily, the 46 level is going to play a big role. If bulls can break it, that'll be a good sign, and then that will be an area of support that the bulls will want to hold going forward. Now, if we happen to bounce off this resistance again tomorrow and break down further, we can look at the $40 mark as the next daily support to watch out for. You can also have support here at the low of today's candle at 42.66 as the next level, and if we do see more bearish volume, you do see here that there's an increased bear volume for the day. So if we do see more of that tomorrow, then definitely expect a breakdown. We've basically had like a quad top here with no real movement, and we're just being held by this 20 period moving average that's also acting as resistance. So that'll be something to watch out for on weed. And as far as short term is concerned, we can take a look at the hourly and see what we can expect here. So you can see that we've had these movements, but it's never broken this 46 level. It's tried a few times. We had a couple touches here, touch there, couple touches here for the day, but no real break. And you can see the fake out that I was talking about earlier, where we had this huge bull volume and this almost this bullish engulfing candle that basically all green, but could not break through that 46 level. And what followed right after was an inside bar, and that inside bar broke down, and now we're below that trend line that I was I drew before as far as that wedge is concerned. So if we look closer at the hourly, you can see also that we do have an hourly inside bar to watch out for. So as far as short-term resistance is concerned and support, we'll have support at the low of this inside bar at 43.80, and then resistance will be at 44.31. If we can get some bull volume, some more action, and a break of 44.31, we'll continue to head to the upside and possibly retest again that $46 level. If we get a downwards break and a break of 43.80 with more bearish volume, then I do expect this to go further down and essentially look for maybe another higher low in comparison to the low set here at 41.08. So let's take a look at APHA since it's been the darling of the news today, and you can really see it's been looking very, very bad for this particular stock. There hasn't really been much going on. This is not something that I would trade or would want to even think about getting in right now, just because of the bearish sentiment that is, kind of hovering over this particular stock. So as far as daily is concerned, you can see here, that we had a big gap down to start the day. And you can see all red. So just basically shorts killing this stock for basically the entire day. And if you can even look at it on the shorter time frame here at the 5 minute, we gapped down with that news that came out and really got shorted for basically the better half of the day. The beginning of the day, we had a slight rally, and then continued to break down further to meet its previous low set here at 749. So as far as APHA is concerned, with the news that's looming over on this particular symbol, I do expect this to continue to break down a little bit lower. It doesn't look like it's seemed to have found a bottom just yet, because even though on the hourly, you can see after we gapped up, we had our short-term bounce, and then once we bounced, we topped twice, double top, and then broke down further, and now we're essentially at basically the low of the original candle for the day. So same like weed, we have a hourly inside bar to be watching. And again, very clear scenario. If we break 747 first thing tomorrow morning, we'll continue to head further to the downside. If we break the high of the inside bar at 796, $8 psychologically with a lot of bull volume in action, then we'll continue back to the upside and hopefully to our next resistance level here of 912. But with the way things are looking, this could potentially have some further breaks toward the downside. But one thing to keep in mind that we are in the hourly oversold range. So a short-term bounce is imminent, but depending on how the action and the volume behind it is, will really determine, how much of a bounce we will get. And just as far as daily is concerned, like I said, just it's been a series of lower highs and lower lows. Huge gap down today. So there is a gap that will need to be filled at some point. Whether that's tomorrow or not is, up of course for consideration. But that's something to keep in mind. And we'll have resistance at the low of this candle at $10 psychologically. So if we do not fill this gap tomorrow, it may be filled on Wednesday, but we'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to the news of APHA and see what APHA does in reaction to the reports and findings on what's been going on with this company. So other than that, let's take a look at ACB really quickly here just to finish off this video. And as far as ACB is concerned, since essentially our low of dump low on the 30th, we haven't done much since then after we've had our little short-term rally. Again, we've had a series of lower highs and lower lows, and then really since the 20th of November, we've just been trading sideways and, just some more tightening consolidation without really any major moves to the upside or the downside. As far as daily support and resistance are concerned and what you can expect to play out, is we do have a high set here at 846, so that will be an area to watch that the bulls will want to break if we want to reverse this trend and continue towards the upside. Another resistance level to look out for will be 794, which we bounced off of today, hitting a high of 787 and continued to break lower, closing at the lows of the day, which isn't really a positive sign for any bulls. And these will be the two resistance points for the near term that bulls will want to break to reverse this kind of sideways trend, because really anything below 846 is just another lower high and won't really give us any clear signals on when this trend is going to reverse. As far as short term is concerned and what to look out for, it's basically what we're seeing on the daily. Because the consolidation is so tight, even looking at the shorter time frames, they'll basically mainly all tell the same thing. Since the consolidation is so tight and the resistance and support are pretty close to each other. So let's see if we have an hourly inside bar for ACB. We do not, but one thing to watch out for is that we did get a hammer here that did hold this low at 744, which is a good sign, at least on the hourly and short-term side. Now, if bulls bounce off of this support level, which looks like it's been touched a few times and held as support, which you've seen here, you've kind of got close to it, had a rally, broke down, but rallied back up. Broke it a couple times here, but again managed to rally back up. The only time it really didn't was here, and bulls obviously bought the dip. You can see, the big sell-off that happened this morning, And then we had the rally that followed with essentially a huge green candle, literally a reverse. You can just call this a V reversal. And we topped out for the day, hitting close to that resistance of 794 before we continued to break down and pulled back, and now we're holding the support. Now, if bulls want to continue this trend, we'll essentially want to bounce off the 744 level and continue to head to the upside. We do have some moving period averages of resistance to be looking out for as well. But if bulls do get this momentum towards the upside, 794 will be the next level that I'll be watching. You can also use 779 as another level to be watching for resistance, and then support will be at 744 and 725 as the next levels. If we do get further break and more bearish momentum, these will be the two levels to look out for. And then the next really major level will be 708, and you can just say $7 psychologically as the next major key level of support on the hourly. That covers today's analysis for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the sector. And if you liked the video, please give us a like, share it, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thanks again. Take care.